I'm on the way to Singapore. My flight was delayed for hours, so I didn't get any footage of the airport, but the airport is really cool. Here's some pictures. This is the hostel I stayed at. Nothing fancy as per usual. Let's get straight into it. The first thing we did was take the cable cars to Sentosa, and we had no idea the cable cars were going to be Hello Kitty. We are both huge Hello Kitty fans, so this was a pleasant surprise. It was a cloudy day, but it was still a beautiful view. Lots of greenery, you can see the water. Once you land at Sentosa Island, you'll notice how cute all the decorations are, and we visited a few weeks after Lunar New Year, so all of those red envelopes were still hanging, and we could read a lot of the sweet messages that people wrote. Aww. Sentosa has a bunch of these fake beaches, and I live in Hawaii, so I wasn't really impressed. This one had a jungle gym that was $30 to play on. If it wasn't $30, I would have played on it. Singapore has a very hot climate, so I get why they made a bunch of fake beaches. We took our Monster Stomper Gothic boots off to feel the sand in our toes, and then we caught a K-pop performance. You go, boys! I'm sure the music video is gonna come out great. Anyways, we wanted to watch some wildlife, so we went to the wildlife center, and honestly, we didn't see any actual wildlife aside from that snail on the leaf. We're looking around in the trees, nothing. We went into this exhibit, and all it has was a bunch of rocks. Then we go into this other exhibit and it just has statues of animals, but we didn't actually see any animals in Sentosa besides mosquitoes. Then it was time for us to take the cable car back to the city, and we were really happy because this time we got the pink Hello Kitty cable car, which was even cuter than the first one. And then we ate some chili crab, which was honestly the messiest and most embarrassing restaurant experience I've ever had, but damn it, it was good. And we found the seafood place just walking around this river right here. Of course, we had to go to Gardens by the Bay. We got the Flower Dome and Cloud Forest combo ticket, which was around 65 US dollars. In the Flower Dome, there's all kinds of plants from every region of the world. We went at nighttime and it was pretty cool because everything was lit up. You can also see the Singapore Flyer Ferris wheel from the dome. The only regret I have is it was gonna close in 2 hours, so we only got 1 hour in the Flower Dome and 1 hour in the Cloud Forest, and you can easily spend 2 hours in each area because there's so much to see. It smells heavenly. There's a lot of photo opportunities, so definitely give yourself more than 1 hour in the Flower Dome, more than 1 hour in the Cloud Garden, and remember, these are not the only 2 attractions at Gardens by the Bay. I did get dressed up and I wore a floral skirt because I wanted to take pictures, and let me tell you, there were a lot of good spots to take pictures. This one part had a whole Alice in Wonderland theme, so if you like that, you gotta check it out. It's very trippy. Too bad mushrooms are illegal in Singapore, so you can't trip balls and go here, but if it was legal, I would. Well, that was the flower dome, and now we're going to the cloud forest. Honestly, this cloud forest is pretty similar to the flower dome. It just has more statues and a bunch of fake waterfalls and more mist. This Lost World area was really just a knockoff Team Labs Borderless big room with a projector projecting a moving image. It was okay, but I was underwhelmed, to be honest. And then they showed some depressing statistics about climate change. And here's another fake waterfall. Well, that was that. Now it's time for the free show where the trees that are lit up dance around to some music. And tonight's music was opera.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gardens by the Bay presents Garden Rhapsody. Watch the super trees come to life as we unveil a dazzling showcase of lights and musical treats. Tonight we present Opera in the Gardens.
Flashing trees and opera music, low-key, gave me a headache. If you like opera music and a bunch of flashing lights, I would highly recommend that show. Anyways, the park closed, so we went to this famous food hawker, La Pausat. It is the massive food hawker right next to Satay Street. We had so many options. They have everything here. I was really intrigued by these Michelin star food stalls. There was a lot of them that had the Michelin ratings. So I wanted to get one of those, and I also wanted to get traditional Singaporean food, but if you wanted literally anything, they had it. There were so many options. I ended up choosing this food stall, and I got the laksa, which is a curry noodle soup. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed. Aside from that delicious piece of fried tofu, the noodles were pretty basic. The broth was semi-flavorful. I wasn't really blown away. I was, however, very hungry, so it was satisfying. And I started off with the delicious fried tofu, so it started off on a good note, but overall, it was a 5 out of 10. Then it was time for dessert, so I go to this durian stand, because I've had durian milkshakes before, and they were good. I didn't mind the smell. So when I saw this durian dessert stand with durian ice cream, I was all over it. I thought this is gonna be delicious. But unfortunately, it was not. The next day, we met up with our new friend that we met at the hostel. Hey, girl. And we check out this place called Ha Par Villa. This was probably my favorite place that we visited in Singapore. It's free to get into the park, which is huge and filled with really cool statues. And there is a museum that's about $20 that's 100% worth it. It's called Hell's Museum, and it's all about the different religions and what they believe will happen to you if you sin in this life. If you are a bad person in your mortal life, what will happen to you when you die? They had Dia de los Muertos from Mexico. They had the altars of the 7th lunar month from China. They had so many different things, all depicting death and the afterlife. Here is a traditional Singaporean casket, life size. And then they had a graveyard, and they showed an example of what it looks like when you're Chinese and you die. This place just had so much to look at, so much to read. I'm going to show a lot of footage because I was completely enamored by everything I saw. I took a lot of footage. So if you don't like seeing this stuff, you need to skip the next 7 minutes of the video because I am showing you tons of exhibits, and this doesn't even cover everything that's there. They had so much. Look at all these statues of rats at war killing each other with weapons. If anybody knows who that guy with the long tongue is, please give him my number.
Damn!
This entire building was filled with statues depicting the specific deaths that you will die according to the sins that you committed in this life. I learned that things you'd never think would have a horrible punishment, such as arguing with your siblings, had the punishment of freezing to death in an ice-cold pond. Have you ever cheated on a test? You're getting stabbed in the face. Okay, now we're back outside to the free area, and there's still so much to look at, and a lot of it's really freaking weird. All this crazy stuff is based on old folklore, and there are plaques that explain the madness. I loved reading all these crazy stories and trying to figure out why these stories were made. What lessons were they trying to teach people? some of the best legends were the ones about murderous women. Oh, and there was a bunch of live animals like this Komodo dragon and a lot of turtles throughout the many ponds of this ginormous park. So if you like wildlife, you'll see more wildlife here than the wildlife center at Sentosa Island. There was also bees. Whoa, look at this big bee. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm scared of bees. Where'd it go?
It's gone, it's gone.
It's gone? Okay.
It's gone.
Okay. Anyways. So yeah, despite how grotesque it was, I really loved this place and I would highly recommend it to anyone visiting Singapore. Then we went to the food hawker in Chinatown for lunch. There's a really great variety here, and I had a better experience than at the last food hawker. There was so many food stalls, it's really hard to pick. I wanted to try out this vegetarian place, but unfortunately they were closed. I ended up just getting some Hainanese chicken, which is very popular in Singapore. No, I'm not vegan at the moment, but I'm going to be vegan again soon. Anyways, here's the chicken, very healthy. Some rice, it came with some soup and sauces, and I did get fried sweet potato balls. My homegirl over here got some pork and eggs and cucumbers, and she also got a big coconut. It was so fresh and delicious. Yes, I did get a sip. It was very good. Oh, and I cannot forget about this juice place. I got the Balang Lang and sour plum. It was the most refreshing, delicious drink I ever had. Also, if you don't clean up after yourself, you will get a fine, so don't be dirty. Then we were just hanging by the pool, having some girl talk in our bikinis, because you know, that's what girls do. We tried going into a bar. This one looked cute, but the music wasn't good, and the drinks were $28. Not worth it. They didn't even have a Singapore sling, so we left and we're hitting the streets looking for a new place to go, enjoying the scenery. We liked the lights. We did not find a bar, so I looked up a metal bar because I love metal. This is the Flying V. It's a metal bar inside the mall. Yes, there are bugs on the table, but hey, when you're a metalhead, you gotta be tough. You can't be intimidated by a little bug. Check this place out. They're playing Iron Maiden. They gave us a tablet so we could pick our favorite songs to play on the speaker. The beers were cheap. Cheers! Woo! Apparently, sometimes they even have live music. metal bands performing in this little bar, which I would have loved to seen, but we came here last minute, so nobody was playing this night. So if you want to go to a heavy metal bar, check out the Flying V in Singapore, aka Singapore's heavy metal headquarters. Yeah! Some random guys just drinking in the park. I started dancing to their music and they started filming me, so I started filming them. Oh, I gotta go. What up? Then we were just walking around Singapore and we saw somebody yak in the McDonald's. I think that's a good time to end the video. Thanks for watching.